Hey guys, Justin here. Today we're going to be going over a 26 gauge twisted build on the Kennedy RDA. So let's drop down and start the build. Okay guys, pretty simple today. All we're going to be doing is a twisted 26 build. You're going to need some 26 gauge Canthal, pair of wire cutters, pair of pliers, and a drill. Drill comes in handy, easier to wrap. First off, we're going to start off with about 24 inches of 26 gauge. I've already got some pre-cut here off the spool to make this go a little easier. We're going to straighten it out first. Simply grab your drill, bend over the end of your wire so it's got a little bit of a hook on it. Feed it into the end of your drill. Lock it down. Grab your pliers, snag the end of it, pull it tight, give it a few spins for about 3 seconds or so. And then run your fingers across your wire. Make sure it doesn't unspool on you. Let go of the pliers. And that should give you a nice straight piece of 26 gauge. Now for the loop, it's pretty easy. To twist it, it's pretty simple. Bend it over on itself, so you're creating yourself a little bit of a loop here. Knock both ends over so they're easier to grip for the drill. Once again, you're going to pop it in. You're going to want to slide into the side chuck of that drill, just like that, to hold on to that. Okay. Tighten it down, just like that. Quick and easy way I like to do it, just grab the end of my pliers, roughly find center, don't put a lot of pressure, pinch it, give it a little bit of tension, and give her a spin. Okay. Keep it going. Let's see if I can get up a little closer for you guys. I don't know if you can see that real well. I don't know if you can see that real well. We're going to try and get that into focus here. And get that to spin. Tighten right up. You're going to want to let your wire feed in on itself a little bit, just so it doesn't buckle. But just so you keep it nice and tight. Don't pull too hard or you will break it. Once you get a nice tight twist, you turn into one piece of wire. Alright, it's going to be pretty simple. You can see pretty well, pretty good after there. Get a nice even twist all the way around. So once again, you're going to run your fingers across your wire, grab your other end so it doesn't buckle out on you. Pull it off. A nice little 26 gauge twisted wire. What that's going to do is give you more wire, less resistance, in the same amount of wraps. So if you're doing a 6 wrap or a 7 wrap or something like that, with the twisted wire you're going to get a lower resistance than you would with a single wrap 6 wires, 26 gauge. One thing I forgot to mention is you are going to need a set of precision screwdrivers, something along those lines. Vapors Reviews. Hey Mike, how you doing? A little set of precision pliers. I'm a big fan of making my wraps around a 2.5mm screwdriver. Ease the tension of in and out with these guys. I don't know if you can see it there. I have filed down the end of my Phillips bit that I don't use on a regular basis, so it feeds in and out of my coils a little better. And all we're going to do is take that strand of wire that we just twisted up and wrap it. I tend to push forward all the time, and we're going to do, let's go 7 wraps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I've done 8 here, But all I do is I take my pliers and I pull that first wrap off. It keeps the rest of your coil nice and tight. It allows you to make your leads the way you want them to. Okay, make one lead shorter than the other, so we're going to come here and cut it off different lengths. We're going to set one coil aside. Now, I work with two. It's easier. I can keep one on my screwdriver, so when I go to build on my addy, everything is there and I don't have to worry about mucking around with it. So we're going to take the second strand, do the same thing. Do a loose wrap for the first one, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are 7 nice tight wraps. Once again, we're going to take this one and we're going to pull that first wrap off. So we've got nice 7. Perfect 7 wraps. And you can see once I put these guys next to each other, we are the same size. If I can get these to straighten out, it'll be a little easier for you guys to see. We are the same size. Just like that. Okay, so I'm going to cut off a little bit of the extra lead that we got going on here, just so it's easier to work with. Set that off to the side. Next thing you are going to need is an addy that will work for you. Today's addy of choice for myself will be the clone Kennedy, just because it's half decent to build on. It's got decent sized post holes on it. For something like this, I use my mech as a stand. It's pretty simple. I'm going to come in here, screw this on here so it's easier to work with. Now, see? Decent sized post holes. Be easy enough to get all those wires fed in, no problem. So what you're going to do, you're going to set that down just like that. Easy to work with. Let's zoom this in a little bit here, so we can kind of see what we're doing. Now get us into focus again. Now forgive me guys, this is my first video, so let's try and keep the comments on how steady my camera hand is down to a little bit of a minimum. So I like to work from my right in. So what I'll do is I'll feed my positive and my negative in at the same time. I guess working just like that, and I'll give it a little bit of a push. Okay, a little bit of a push. I like to leave a little bit of extra there. It gives me something to work with, so I'm not mussing and fussing with everything. Now you're gonna want to. Sorry about that guys, forgot my screwdriver. You want to tighten down that negative connection. It's going to help keep that wire in place. Make her nice and snug. Just like that. Alright, well then what I'll do to help ease the tension of the next guy is I'm going to take that positive lead. I'm going to pull it off to one side just so when I put my other coil in it's easier to get in there. That's what she's going to look like. Slide out your screwdrivers for a second. They'll hold their position. You want to cut off all those lead lengths, all those lead legs that are sticking out, so they don't get caught up on nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we get to play with it a little bit. We're going to straighten those out. So we're in the Kennedy, so you got to go right over top of those airflows. So we're going to take our screwdrivers, just give them a small push off to the side. Just get them right over top of those airflows, just like that. You see that? There you go, guys. The same thing to the other side. You give it a push. So it centers over top of those airflows. Just like that. Okay, that's what you're looking for. It's a nice, clean build. Okay. Now all we're going to do, word to the wise, you are going to need one of these little fellas. Okay. And make sure I grab the one that's got the batteries in it. Hold on a sec. One of these little fellas. So what you want to do, I haven't done one of these in a while, so I'm not sure what it's going to read out at 7 reps. My guess is probably somewhere around 0.2, 0.24. I'm probably far off. Let's turn you on, see what we got. 0.26 actually wasn't too bad. There we go. Give it a little bit of a strum with your fingers. If them numbers start jumping really, really high, you've got a loose connection. Okay? So we're sitting at 0.26 on this. 0.27. Next step is cotton. No matter what you're using. Okay? Wicking is just as important as wrapping. Wick this guy here. I'm going to cut 2 strands, about 1 centimeter in width, 1/2 inch in width, somewhere around there, of cotton. This is what I like to do. I will skin my cotton just like that, flatten it back out. Okay. Seems to work. A little bit of a spike on there, guys. Give her a twist. And a little bit of moisture on your fingers on doing this. It help get that cut right in there. Okay, let's slide that in. I'm just going to pull that over just like that. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I had to jump out for a sec. My dogs went nuts. So yeah, we'll get the second bead of cotton doing the same thing. You'll find if you cut just that little bit of an angle on there, just like that, it's going to help give that twist something to catch up onto. Help bind your corner over for you. Just like that. Give you a nice little point. Fire this in here just like this. Okay, feed her through. Pull her out. I'm a fan of a nice tight wick. Always have been. I find it burns a little better. Okay, you don't necessarily want it too tight. You want it doing that. Just a little bit of movement in there, guys, and that'll work for you. Okay. Good pair of scissors. You're going to come in here and cut off the excess that's on here. Just like that. Now, this is the Kennedy, so you don't need a crazy amount. Just enough to tuck into the base of this RDA, and that'll work for you. Okay. So, nice clean cotton. Nice airflow underneath both of them. Okay. What are we going to use today? Let's go with some... I'm going to go with one of my own crazy, wonderful little concoctions. So yeah, just get a couple of drops over top of your coils. Get them saturated and good and tight. Good and wet there, guys. Good and wet. Give it a small pulse. Just enough to heat the juice up enough to get it right into that cotton. Okay. That's what we're looking for. You don't want to do it too much. You'll end up burning your cotton prematurely, and you won't get the burnt taste out at all. Okay, you want to make sure all your cotton is nice and wet. You don't have to worry about it. Yeah, guys? So nice and soppy. Should give you a nice little shot. The added bonus to this twisted wire is it gives a little bit more coverage on the size of what you're doing. So, we're going to cap her off and give her a shot, guys. Well, there you have it, guys. All twisted up. Ready to rock. Ready to go. Nice and clean. Okay, fires up nice. You get some pretty good flavor off of it. And produces a pretty good cloud without being too hot. So hope that helps. We'll see you soon.